20 volume Oxycure.
All right, you guys, so today we are going to be doing a beachy blonde hair tutorial. So check out this client's before. She has got amazing long hair, especially for being blonde for years and years and years, and she hasn't touched her regrowth in 6 months. So starting off, it kind of looks like a mess, but I have Megan, my assistant, to the right. She's mixing up us 2 bowls of Goldwell Oxycure 20 volume and Olaplex, and my other assistant Sarah's to the left, and she is organizing my locker actually. While they're doing that, I'm going to start sectioning off this client, and the sectioning is going to be super simple. We're going to take everything from behind the ears, that's one section, and then we're going to be taking everything off the front. It's going to be with her natural part, and we're going to be clipping away from where her head starts to curve, and we're going to be focusing on where her head curves and below to her hairline. So the first thing we're going to be doing is taking a slice. This is just going to ensure that she's super bright if she pulls her hair up. When she came in, she said one of her main concerns is that whenever I pull my hair up, I feel like I'm a brunette. I feel like there's no brightness like to the sides of my hair and my ponytail, and I hate that. So we're going to make sure she's going to be super bright, but she doesn't want a super blonde face frame. She still wants to have a little bit of dimension. She just wants to blend in her roots a lot more. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. Anything that's whenever it comes to beachy looks, you want to keep in mind, like if you were out in Hawaii, let's say, and you're just tanning on the beach, the perimeter of your hair is going to be really sun-kissed, a little bit brighter. So that's why we're going off of a few slices off of her hairline here and at the top when we do her money piece. But everything on the interior is just kind of broken up and almost has a little bit more dimension in it. So we're going to be trying to mimic that with our foil placement and everything. So after those few slices, we are just going to be continuing up on a slight diagonal. This is going to work really well with the curvature of her head, and we're just going to be going all the way straight back, and then we're going to be changing it up whenever we get to where her head starts to curve on her parietal bone. So we are utilizing baby lights. You guys probably know that I am obsessed with baby lights, especially anytime you're lifting the hair. They're just going to be super small, jam-packed, tightly weaved highlights, and what that's going to do is ensure maximum brightness. We're going to be able to get her to her desired level because her hair is about level 5 or 6. Her hair is super dark, whether you can see it or not in this video. But we are just going to be continuing the same pattern, slight diagonal like I was saying, utilizing baby lights, and then we'll come back and regroup, and I'll explain what I'm going to be doing for the money piece and for the mohawk section of her hair. Alright, so moving on to her money piece, we're going to be continuing that same pattern, doing a few slices off of her hairline, followed by a few baby lights. Now I'm going to be doing about 2 to 3 slices whenever I do a technique like this, and that's just going to be giving her a nice good pop at the front, and then we're going to follow it by a few tightly packed baby lights. So what this is going to be doing is at her hairline it's going to be super bright, and then it's blending it in into those regular baby lights. And we're still going to be continuing on a diagonal pattern. This is going to insinuate brightness towards the front. If we were to go directly off her hairline, sometimes that can look just so stripy and not appealing to the client. So we want to make sure it's still blended in with everything. So just like I was saying before, like if she was in Hawaii, what we're going to be doing is just pushing that brightness towards her face. That's why we're going on that slight diagonal, and then as we're breaking it up, moving to the back of her head, and then spacing out those baby lights from tighter packed baby lights to just regular baby lights. That's going to be insinuating that brightness where it goes super bright, kind of bright, and then just regularly bright, if that makes sense. So as I'm continuing on that section that is from her hairline to the curve of her head, I'm continuing those diagonal sections. This is going to break it up, but also leave a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to explain to you what Megan is going to be doing in the back. So I started in the front, and my assistant Megan, she's amazing, by the way. I'm going to put her Instagram here just so you guys can follow her. But what we're going to be doing is a brick light pattern. So she's going to be doing 2 baby lights to the left, 2 baby lights to the right, and in the center of that, like you can see here, she's going to be following 2, and she's going to continue that pattern all the way up her head. Now, right where the top of her hair is, we did section that off into a little tiny square. We're just going to be doing baby lights straight up from there, so it's going to be super bright right there on the veil of her head. And when I say veil, you can just imagine that being the hair that kind of lays over the back of the head, kind of like a bride's veil. But doing that bricklay pattern below it's is what's going to really break it up and give it a lot of brightness, but still keep a little bit of depth, but we're still breaking up her root at the same time. And that's what's also going to be giving her less brightness in the interior of her hair, but giving her maximum brightness on the exterior of her hair. Referring back to that beachy term, like I was saying before, once again. And after I have completely foiled this side, this is what it looks like. And Megan's going to continue up with that same pattern that we were talking about earlier. And I'm going to be doing the exact same thing to the opposite side of her head. And then what we're going to be doing is getting into toning. So as far as her toner goes, we're going to be using Goldwell Colorant 7N, 7, and 8 for her root. 7N because her natural is about a 6, but I do want it to be a little bit lighter than her natural, so when it grows out, there's a nice progression from her level 6 hair, the level 7 root, and then her 9, 10 ends. As far as her toner goes, we're going to be doing 9P 10GI. Now, 10GI is a beautiful tone. It's a gold iridescence, but it's not yellow gold. And then 9P is going to be a pearl blonde, and that's going to be counteracting any yellow or orange tone she has left in her hair. And check out our toning station that we just got up in the salon, you guys. It is freaking beautiful. I'm obsessed with it, so we're going to be toning her here. So starting off with her root, we're going to be doing it about 1.5 inches in the back to 1 inch in the front, and we're leaving out her hairline like we usually do. So nothing new there. I just wanted to make sure that her hairline is the brightest, even though she doesn't want a super like striped money piece. We'll just go in a little bit later and smudge those down. As far as her root color goes, referring back to it, we're using 7N, 7, and A like I was saying, and the reason that I wanted to use Goldwell is because Goldwell has a little bit more coverage than Shades EQ. What I mean by that is Shades EQ can be a little bit translucent, so going in with Goldwell, I know her root is actually going to show up, and those highlights are still going to play peekaboo throughout the root a little bit, but it's still just going to give it that depth that I want to give it to. So we're going to continue this on both sides of her head, leaving out that hairline. I'll let this process for about 10 minutes. Then I smudged down her hairline about an inch, just connecting all of that together. And we let that sit on for about 5 minutes, so 15 minutes total. Now Megan is going in with her all over toner. Once again, it's Redken Shades of Q 9P 10GI, and what we're going to be doing is just putting this all over, letting it sit. We let it sit for about 3 to 4 minutes. A lot of people ask me, how long do you let your toner sit on for? And the answer is, it just depends. I feel like I wish there was like a set amount of processing time whenever it comes to toners, but honestly, you just want to saturate it really well and then kind of just play with the hair until you feel like it is at that desired tone, and then leave it on a little bit longer. The best advice someone's ever given to me, and this was by Jessie herself, is whenever it starts to look scary, whenever you're toning, leave it on 1 more minute, then rinse it, and it has never failed me. So try that little trick out, and then let me know over on Instagram maybe, or in the comments below here if that trick has worked for you as well. So now that she is all toned, all there is to do is style her, and my second assistant, Sarah, she is the styling queen and my social media girl. She always gets the best before and afters. I'm going to be putting her Instagram here as well, so you guys make sure you follow her. She's going to be curling her up with our Jay-Z Styles curling iron, the J-Wave. This is a 1 1/4 inch iron that has an extra long barrel and a sturdy clip, so it is amazing for any type of hair that is a little bit longer maybe. But it's great for all hair types, so make sure you go to www.jzstyles.com and snag you one today. How did you like that little ad? And then wham bam, thank you ma'am, this is her after. You guys, I am so obsessed with this color. I just can't even express it. It is beautiful. It is the perfect tone. If you love this color as much as I do, make sure you let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at stu.styles with a Z at the end. It's my same name on here. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.